I am Sanjeev Kumar Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, GLA College, NP University, Daltonganj. In this video, I'll be discussing cell wall, which is in the syllabus of UG Semester 1, Paper C2, Botany, NP University. All the biology students know that there are some differences between plant cell and animal cell. The basic difference is presence of cell wall in the plant cell and absence of cell wall in the animal cell. This cell wall is present outside the plasma membrane and it imparts different functions to the plant cell, which is helpful in survival of the plant. So let's start with the video. Now to begin with, this is the diagrammatic representation of TS transverse section of a plant cell. This is diagrammatic, and this is the longitudinal section of two adjacent cells showing the structure of the cell wall, which will be eventually discussed. The cell wall is defined as a structural layer which is surrounding plant cell outside the plasma membrane. It is present outside the plasma membrane. It is tough, flexible or rigid. It can be tough and rigid, then not flexible. If it is flexible, then it will not be tough and rigid, which we will eventually see. There are different layers in the plasma membrane. There are three layers, basically three layers. Primary cell wall layer, secondary cell wall layer and the middle lamella. Here you can see this is the middle lamella, this is the adjacent cell. Inside to this is the primary wall, and inside to the primary wall you have the secondary cell wall layers, which may be 1, 2 or 3 depending upon the requirement and specificity of the cell. Same thing is depicted in the longitudinal section of the adjacent cells. The primary cell wall is thin, flexible and extensible. Thin means in comparison to the secondary cell wall, it is thin, flexible and extensible. It is flexible and extensible because primary cell wall is present in the growing cell. It is also present in the later cells, grown-up cells also. But initially, when the cell grows, primary cell wall is laid. So if the cell is growing, the cell wall needs to be flexible and extensible so that it can extend along with the size of the cell to cover that cell. So that is very important. It is composed of polysaccharides. You all know it's a type of carbohydrate. There are different types of carbohydrate, monosaccharide, disaccharide and polysaccharides. And these polysaccharides are present with glycoproteins, some of the glycoproteins. Glycoproteins mean the carbohydrate attached to the proteins. Hydroxyproline rich glycoproteins, HRGP. Along with that, they have also contain phenolic esters, ferulic and fumaric acid, minerals such as calcium and boron. Now, what type of polysaccharides are present? Cellulose is the primary polysaccharide which is present, and we all know the linkage of cellulose is composed of glucose, 1,4 link beta dextroglucose. This is the cellulose which is present in the cell wall. Then the second compound is hemicellulose, which is also similar to cellulose, but it is branched polysaccharide linked to cellulose. Again, the linkage is 1,4 linked beta dextrohexosyl residues. And the most important hemicellulose which is present in the primary cell wall is xyloglycan. And others are also present in less amount depending on the specificity of the cell, the requirement of the cell, the environment, glucouranoxylon, arabinoxylon, glucomannan and galactomannan. These are some of the hemicellulose which are present. So how the structure is laid down of the primary cell wall? The cellulose is present in the form of microfibrils, which is formed in the form of micelles. The micelles, they get joined to form a microfibril, the tube-like structures, and they are linked via this hemicellulose, which tethers or attaches to form hemicellulose network, which is embedded in the pectin matrix. Now we will see this in figure. Now if this is the cellulose microfibril consisting of a tube-like structure, this is the primary cell wall. These are the cellulose microfibril. These are the pectin matrix, and these are the hemicellulose, which is linking, that is xyloglycan. This is linking one cellulose microfibril to the other in cross-link bond, and they are cross-linked with the pectin matrix and through hydrogen bonds, and you can see the structure, how they are linked. So this is the structure of the structure is not complete. It is still being evaluated, and there are different types of structures proposed by different person. So this is one of the structure. Now extension, as I earlier told you that the primary cell wall is associated with a growing cell, so it needs to expand or extend according to the cell if it is growing. So the cell wall extends by acid growth, which is mediated by extension or expansion. Extensions or expansion. These are extracellular proteins, not within the cell, outside the cell, which works under acidic conditions, and they modify the hydrogen bond between pectin and cellulose. So this is the pectin matrix. They get dismantled. This cellulose, this is disintegrated. The bonds here are also shaped. Then suppose this want to grow like this further. So another cellulose microfibril will be here. So this needs to extend. So this will be destabilized, then again joined. So it keeps on extending like that through the help of these extracellular proteins. So that is the basic composition and structure of primary cell wall. Then we have secondary cell walls. So as I mentioned earlier, the primary cell walls are present in the growing cell. The secondary cell walls are deposited when the cell has ceased to grow. Means once it has grown completely, then secondary cell walls are added. That is the most important thing about secondary cell wall. And they are deposited inside the primary cell wall in layers. There may be one layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, depending upon the requirement of the cell. The composition is definitely glucose, primarily glucose, 35 to 50%. But along with that, there are other polysaccharides, xylan, lignin, which provides toughness and rigidity to the cells. For example, we have tracheids, sclerids, fibers, so they need rigidity. So this lignin and xylans are added to the cell wall of these cells, so that they remain rigid. As we all know that xylem is responsible for transport of water from roots to the leaves and other parts of the plant. So they need rigidity. Now the third layer is middle lamella, which is the outermost layer and serving as an interface, as we have seen here. And if we see this longitudinal section, these are the two cells, and this is serving as an interface. And this is the primary wall of the adjacent cells and the secondary wall. So this is the middle lamella. These are the first to be formed when the cell division happens during cytokinesis. A cell plate is formed by the nucleosomes. They are formed in the center, then extend to the periphery during cytokinesis, and their primary wall is deposited inside the middle. They're basically composed of pectins along with some minerals. And pectins are complex polysaccharides. Again, the linkage is alpha-1,4 linked alpha-dextro. But the compound here is galactouronic acid, which is important. And this is the alpha-D galactouronic acid is the most important and most predominant pectins found in the cell wall. There are other pectins which are also found like homo-galactouronase, rano-galactouronase, etc. Now the functions. They provide structural and mechanical support. As we all know that plant cell does not have skeleton, and the land plants need structural and mechanical support. The cell needs support. So the cell wall provides rigidity and support to the cell, plant cell. They maintain and determine cell shape. We all know that different types of cells, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, parenchyma, so they have different shapes, and this depends upon the deposition of secondary cell wall. The rigidity is defined by that. So the cell shape is determined by the deposition of this cell wall. They resist internal pressure of the cell, which means we all know there is a process called osmosis, which means that this transfer of solvent from higher concentration to the lower concentration, transport of that. So when the water enters or the solvent enters into the cell, the plasma membrane expands. So it has pressure on it and it imparts pressure on the cell wall. So the cell wall provides counter pressure to the plasma membrane so that it does not grow up and explode or burst. So it maintains the turgor pressure of the cell resulting due to osmosis. It regulates diffusion of material. Yes, it does. There are plenty of material which are to be brought in the cell from higher concentration to lower concentration. So cell walls have connections, pits-like connections called plasmodesmata, which helps in diffusion of material from one cell to the other. Carbohydrate storage, yes, some of the cells, for example, the endosperm of cereals, wheat, they contain some carbohydrate which is required during the germination and required in respiration process, germination or some other metabolic process. They protect against the pathogens. Yes, they do. The cell wall, and there is an additional layer also which is known as cuticle, which is of cutin deposited on the cell wall. So they are the first line of defense against the pathogens like bacteria, virus and other pathogens. So the pathogens have to surpass this to enter into the cell. So it provides resistance to the pathogens. Dehydration. Sometimes when there's too much heat, water is being lost, then the cell wall helps the water not to get released from the cell, and they help in dehydration. Cell-to-cell interaction, yes, plasmodesmata is one of the structure. There are then they also contain some receptors which help in cell-to-cell interactions to maintain the coordination between the cells. Secondary cell wall has played a very crucial role in evolution of land plants. Yes, it has. We all know that land plants came later in the geological period, and earlier it was all in water or moist conditions, and when they migrated to land, more rigidity was required. The condition was hard, xerophytic, mesophytic, water scarcity and sun, so weather, heat. So for that, the secondary cell wall, they provided rigidity to the plants. As we all know, there are plants of 91 meters, 100 meters. Sequoia sempervirens is one of them. So how do they stand? It is all because of cell wall, the secondary cell wall, the lignin, the xylans, the cellulose, which provides rigidity to the cell wall. So I hope this video must have been informative to the students.